Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Zweihander the Great Schism. Squism? Right.
Yep.
The Great Schism. Willis Waterwick. With the component cast. And before we get on with tonight's broadcast, we have a few messages. Tonight's stream might be a little bit shorter this evening. Roach is feeling a little ill. And we've all got a lot of things to do, but we wanted to bring you a broadcast nonetheless. So, we're going to take it easy. But
only one major combat today.
Yeah, I said so.
Take
It's only
it easy. Sinus infection. I still have to talk like a bayou.
Welcome to the battle.
Whereas
talk with my nostril voice.
that right there is a problem. Roach, what are we playing tonight?
Right. Right. Yeah, no, we're playing Zweihander, a grim and perilous RPG published by Andrews McNeil Publishing and designed by Daniel D. Fox. It's a grimdark set of low fantasy-ish rules based on a D100 system that we're having a good time with. Just as an out, if you're going to Gen Con or you're doing any or you're participating in anything relating to that, the Zweihander has a big presence this year at Gen Con. I think they're I forget what it is, a sponsor.
Andrews McNeil are a sponsor of the event, yeah.
Yeah, and there are also apparently quite a few online games that are going to be going on concurrently. So, I mean, keep an eye out for that, not only of Zweihander, but also of the Grim and Perilous RPGs that are available. Speaking of which, if you're interested in any other type of game, there's a couple of others available right now. Flames of Freedom is out, and while I have that book, it's on my bookshelf across the room, and I don't feel good, so I'm not gonna go get it. And it's also heavy. But
all
I did want to say,
excuses.
Yeah, all good excuses. I did want to say I have been reading it, like past just the presentation value of the book. It is actually really good. The amount of information about Revolutionary War era colonial like politics and powers is really well researched. There's actually like a whole section on Native American tribes that were operating in the area with like multiple pages on each of them, and it's really detailed. This could almost be a history book, but it also has a lot of cryptid stuff in it, so probably don't use that for history, but it is a cool little book. And also upcoming is Blackbirds, which is another RPG using the Grim and Perilous system. We've talked about it. It's coming out soon. Keep an eye out.
All right, and well, I think that pretty much covers everything. No real messages from us tonight on our end, other than if you haven't already, check out our IMDb and make sure you rate the show, because you can do that there now. But without further ado, let's get on with tonight's broadcast. So, we're back.
How very dramatic.
Slides into view.
I forgot my dice.
So need this pen.
Oh, that's a good reference.
This pen has substances that you would like on it. Okay,
Don't make me laugh.
This is
That's
no
not gonna
ordinary pen.
It's full of substances.
So, who wants to do the recap for 2 weeks ago, or for a week ago, or no? It's been we had a bye week.
has been 2 weeks.
Ago. Yeah,
I was
2
asleep many times between then and now.
You know what? I don't think I've done a recap, so I'll do one.
You haven't.
Okay,
right.
so last time we walked home. Well, to our current home anyway. The small village that we have found ourselves stranded in with the apothecary in tow. And we met the mayor. I, as a player, for the first time, met the mayor, and we bumbled around thinking he was a ghost again. Or some sort of spectre, or when he is just a weird man. I guarantee he is just a weird man, slightly odd. Kluft went and investigated his house at night. Thought he saw ghosts. Entertainment ensued. We also had a major spike in our investigation, where many of us, Newton, Dagmar and Ashen had a discussion on what we think might be happening and where we needed to go for more answers. Also, of note, Dagmar did an excellent job on fixing up Drakel's leg, and meaning that we didn't have to waste much time and could continue on with our investigation. We decided that we needed a little bit more information to kind of pull the two the main threads of ideas and tie them off into a neat bow. We came to that conclusion after copious amounts of alcohol, and we then went on a trek in the forest to find a boatman who would take us to a swamp elf village. And we left off with the party arousing this individual from their slumber after many jugs of concerningly strong booze, and getting on a floating craft with him. So that's it. We are met with Swamp Elf.
All right, roll a d6, and you can keep that d6 for any other d6 rolls for the rest of the night.
Very nice. I'm gonna go with my component cast colored dice. Let's see what I get. 5.
Okay.
It's the first time we haven't rolled a 2 on a portent roll.
That is true. I wish it would have been, so we could have just kept it going.
Get you started on your workout early.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
All right. So, you all got onto what is essentially just an extra large raft. It doesn't have sides. It doesn't have a bow or anything like that. It is just a rectangular-ish shape that is floating. And you followed the man that goes by the name of, hold on, what is his name? I have it here. Halamar. Halamar. There's a lot of A's in there. A very elven name that with a very unelven sounding voice or accent. But yeah, you all boarded. Or did you all board? Everybody, I think we left off with you getting things together. So
yeah, I
what's
think
everybody
we
doing?
paid. Ashen's getting on.
Kluft will be eyeing the water very nervously. It's not just the fear of falling in because he can't swim. It's the fear that he might be clean.
This
anyone can pick
water
up your
is
scent.
not clean, is it?
Fool.
This water very much not clean.
This water
It'll be a lot dirtier if Kluft falls in.
That's debatable. That's debatable.
Was it like an opposite? Is it it's like a chemical reaction where the acid levels of the water and the acid levels of Kluft like create hydrogen and just clean the water, like because it all rapidly like evaporates.
Yeah.
I was thinking a lot of the Kluft's filth is oil based, so it just floats to the top of the swamp water and it just has a film.
We can walk there. Don't worry about it, guys.
But no, yeah, Oliver's just swayingly kind of beckoning you all towards the raft. Don't worry, it's all safe.
Jeska says something in her native tongue as she walks onto the raft.
Could we walk there?
I
can if you want.
mean, you could. I wouldn't recommend it.
Do you want to sit with me?
What if I fall in? I'll
What-
drown.
Sit in the middle.
What if a mermaid gets me?
I'll hold
Well,
on to
the
you.
problem isn't drowning. You got no problem with that. A lot of this is pretty much waist high. The problem is something gets you.
Exactly.
Yeah, so don't fall in. Stay in the raft.
When I get on, does the raft like go under the water?
No, it's a big raft. It's meant to like if there's people that need like that have mounts, because this is
Right.
he transports people from like this side of the swamp to the other side of the swamp with some regularity, and sometimes they have mounts. So
Or maybe a
it's
small
not,
carriage.
Professional.
Traders, that sort of thing.
yeah. So it's a fairly large mount,
He's a
or it's fairly
professional, but he
large.
does have a professional attitude because he is currently hungover or still drunk.
Well, no,
Not quite sure.
He's a swamp professional, which is this is what they are.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Swamp
If you
professional.
work with swamp
Yeah.
professionals, this wouldn't faze you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know
If
what?
you've
I'm
ever
just,
been
I'm just
to an
being ignorant.
airboat service, this is exactly what you expect.
I'm just being ignorant. That's my problem here. I'm just being ignorant. I don't know.
Obviously, you've never lived in Florida.
This man just looks you up and down, pats the parachute, off you go. That's what it's.
So, yeah. Oh, by the
It's
way,
like people
just
that run
reference-
bungee jump places, you know?
Yeah, you
Look how out their heads they are.
I'm sorry,
gets
but
seven
you're
fortune
strapping
points.
a piece of elastic to your ankles and hurling yourself off a bridge. You're basically playing the game Lemmings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Safely.
yeah, he
though.
back. Yes.
Do you like gambling? Yes. Do you like gambling with your life?
Gambling with
Hell
your
yes.
Every day.
Do you think this rubber band's gonna stay attached?
Matt
Come
D.
on, get on. We got you paid. Do this.
I pick up
Kluft is
Kluft.
very reluctant. Kluft is
I-
he doesn't like to cross bridges.
I pick Kluft up and put them on my shoulder.
He can't resist this. He's powerless against your massive
and then
arms.
and then I pick out like a clothes peg and just put it on my nose.
Uh,
Big guy here, he'll be fine.
Barely come up
if
to
we
my
fall in the
ankles.
water, will you drown to hold me up?
Wait, hang on. I'm gonna step off of the raft.
Okay.
How high is the water up on me?
Oh, not on the dock. On the like,
Yeah.
into the water. Like,
Yeah.
Ah!
No, you step into the water and you get like it's like thigh deep. It'd be like
Oh,
you know,
so
like
that is
upper
Kluft
waist.
height.
Yeah, no, Kluft. It would be like here on Kluft, like, but he wouldn't drown.
He'd be able to
It's
stand
like,
in
He wouldn't be thrashing about.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's just like that.
yeah.
Look, you're not even getting wet. And then I climb back in.
You climb back in and your feet are just covered in like greenish gray muck. That's
Yeah,
just on your
yeah.
feet. It's-
Just gonna start
It makes like
scraping
a-
that off.
It makes like a noise as you bring it out of the water.
I know that sound.
Yeah.
I've ear swabs.
We're just lucky that wasn't in a sewer. A crocodile could have got you. Ugh.
Oh, they're here too. Gators everywhere.
Oh fuck, the gators.
What? But I thought that they only exist because people put them in their privy.
Where do you think they get them
Where
from?
do you think they come from?
Other people's privies.
I cannot argue with that logic. Let's go.
I'm confused. Are we talking about gators or crocodiles?
Oh.
This is the medieval times. The biological compendium hasn't been completed yet.
Gators, then we're talking the pie. If we're talking crocodiles, then we're not. But I just need a bit of clarification here, people.
You talking about water panthers?
I was about to say, there's no such thing as a difference between lions and leopards in this time period. Just keep moving.
Hey, I'm a
Biology.
You try fucking with my medieval knowledge? I'll spike it right back at you.
It's a homoerotic volleyball scene, but for lore.
What's Top Gun got to do with this? I thought this was meant to be medieval, not fighter
The
jets.
funny thing is, water panthers are a separate thing in this rule system. There are alligators,
We're so fucked.
crocodiles, and water panthers.
We're gonna die.
Like
Water
all right,
panthers.
get on. And, is anybody else offering resistance?
Jeska's been on the raft this whole time.
All right. He pushes off with a long stick that he's just kind of like pushing along the bottom of there, and you start floating into the water, like out onto the water, not into the water. It's not a submarine. But you see, like this. I don't know how many of you probably would have seen a swamp. They're not as common around here. They'd be more common up north. Which is closer, which in this world is closer to the equator, because you're on the southern hemisphere of the planet.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
right.
From the
Okay.
south,
I'm from
so-
I'm from relatively ish. I'm west. Westy north.
Pensy is
Different.
Pensy is kind of like, you're talking like German plains.
Oh wow!
climate.
So it's like the other continent north. You're saying?
The like north, like the sea that's north of where you're currently at, the small sea.
Yeah.
Is equivalent to the Mediterranean in climate.
Right.
Above that is closer to like, you're starting to get into like Spain, Portugal kind of climate, and deeper into like the like at the northern bits of it. You're at the equator. You're like in North Africa kind of climates at that point. So basically, you're very close to like a Scandinavian type like climate. Like to the south is like the equivalent of Scandinavia. That's where you have like the Shellvac,
Right.
like people and stuff like that. So yeah, this is a kind of cold swamp. But there's a lot of wildlife that you hear kind of chirping around, random things like plunking into the water.
Can Ashen just kind of look around, because they've never been in sort of this, and it's nature. It's just not the nature they're used to.
Yeah, no, it's odd because it should, like, even though this is a lowlands that two rivers are feeding into, is why this is here. It's kind of it's more humid than it should be. It's a little warmer than it should be, but it just kind of exists. It's like it's something makes it exist. And the trees are a little bit more of a northern tree variety. So you have like these ones where the roots are exposed, like they go higher, and then it's like 6 or 7 feet out of the water, where the trunk actually starts of the tree. So like the roots are a structure. And you see just a lot of reptilian or amphibian species kind of around. A lot of birds too, here and there, and it's not that bad. It's not really dark. I think it's the middle of the day, so the sun is shining down. In fact, it's a little hot for what it is, as you're being.
I'm gonna cover my eyes the entire time.
All right. And it just starts guiding you through. I need somebody to make a D10 roll. A very innocuous
Sure.
D10 roll.
2.
2. Okay, cool.
They're never innocuous.
No.
Listen, Roach, anytime you ever ask us for something, I assume it's death, destruction, and or taxes.
That's actually it's a very apt description of most of my campaign worlds.
There's
Yeah.
four. There's a fourth option, which is a comment on the social political landscape of our current world.
Yes.
But that doesn't fit neatly into the sentence.
No,
It's true.
that would work more as like a descriptor of Roach as an individual.
I'm a commentary in the current socioeconomic situation in our world.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah. What's with the 2? So he starts guiding you through. It's very quiet. It looks. He's pushing you through like small river like inlets and bringing you around like twisting open water. Like you see all around you these like small bits of land that are above the water here and there. There's a lot of thick vegetation that are on them. And after a while he starts just giving you a tour, essentially. And now you see over there, that's a gator. And he points out, and you see about 30 or 40 feet to your right, there's an alligator, or there's a couple all like sunning themselves on a bare stretch of earth. Now you don't bother them, they don't bother you, or splash in the water, or have an open cut, or have blood on you. They'll leave you alone.
I'm fucked.
They may not eat lizard kind.
With how my luck's been going on this journey, I'm fucked.
They don't seem to care, to be honest with you. Have you seen the sizes of them?
They're pretty big. they're fairly large.
I'm gonna put my fingers in my ears.
Oh, I ain't
So
seen
what's
that
covering your eyes?
So your thumbs are going into your ears.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I suppose that would work.
You could do it. That's the second set of hands who come out.
What is this, a
No
naked
comment.
gun film? Like,
Yeah.
Kluft is actually just a sapient spider.
Kluft is Leslie
Non-Euclidean.
Nielsen.
Yeah.
Just Kluft is a non-Euclidean life form. Just
Yep.
Don't question it.
Can I put my blanket over Kluft's head to make him feel a bit safer?
If you can reach up 10 feet in the air, sure.
A horse with blinders. I don't know. You can give it to me. I'll throw it over him.
Sure, by all means. He doesn't fight this.
So that happens. You go, yeah, no. They're pretty quiet this time of day. They like sunning themselves. It's not mating season either, so they're pretty content.
Just double checking. You'll know what month it is.
Sure.
Okay, which month is it?
It's the month of mind your own business.
Okay. A better question. What month is mating season? Roughly.
Oh, basically all the summer. It's just all the summer. We're past that, so we're good.
Aren't we past that, TM?
I mean, no, but you're not at the summer. You're in the tail end of spring.
Right.
So we're
Right,
moving
so-
into mating season is what you're saying, not past it.
You know
Yeah,
it's spring, right?
Yeah.
Well, he does know.
Apparently.
We're fine.
Jeska
Don't get
checks her
afraid.
sword. She just checks her
Don't-
sword.
Don't get scared. They know when you're scared.
I'm not scared. They look pretty good mounted on something, but yeah.
Good eating too.
I can imagine. They look quite lean.
good shoes.
I was about to say the same thing. Lumps people. Maybe a bag. Maybe a bag.
You know, I'm not for it in a general sense, but if you're gonna do it, use all the parts.
I suppose.
That is the only way.
Yeah.
Fucking carbon neutral swamp. Fucking.
You're talking. You expect? What did you expect for
He's an
swamp
elf.
elves?
Yeah. At the end of the day, the basic term of being a tree hugger is still an elf. Just that he's hugging swamp trees.
Okay.
And the things you really got to look out for, because they'll get you all the time, is snakes. They got swimming ones here.
I didn't
Call
think
them-
snakes would come this far south.
Oh, not usually, but they're around here.
What about water panthers?
Water panthers? I think they're a myth.
I will, in good authority, they are real.
Good authority.
They ate my big toe.
I think they're a myth. I once heard all the way, like real far east and north, gators and not gators, something close. Just as far as you can see along coast. I'd like to see it one day.
Really?
Yeah, I'd like to see it one day. I mean,
I suppose, in a way, it's an appreciation of the natural beauty of the planet. I suppose.
So,
I agree, and I'm fully for that. But you know, a mile
maybe
away
there's a
with the
clan.
glass.
I mean, maybe there's a clan out there. We can exchange our ways. It'd be a nice trip.
I suppose. I'm not one to judge.
I
You look like you're holding yourself back, or is that the smell, Newton?
No, that was Midge Man was holding himself back. Anyway, Jim, I have a question. I want to be kind of listening to this individual to try and pick up speech patterns, anything of like real, like, because this is an accent / dialect / sort of culture I don't think Newton would be very familiar with, but he wants to be able to have as much insight going into this place now that he's met this individual and is now expanding upon, oh god, this is what they're all going to be like. Sorry, oh gods, this is what they're all going to be like. So I want to just try and is there anything that seems to be like, I want to pick up like what vowels they're dropping, what things they're putting influence on, that kind of thing. Just make note of his.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you know, like, oh god. Ugh.
Words, Roach.
Roach
Words.
is
You got
slipping
that.
back. He's slipping
Yeah.
back into his old ways.
What's
Come back to
north
us,
of the
Roach.
Mason-Dixon line for the Union. Okay, we're back.
Richmond, the true capital.
Yeah, no, you know a decent amount, like being a scholarly sort, about general cultures of the continents, of the kins, and elves are one of the more insular of all of the kindred. They used to be far more numerous, but then there was a long decline of their long-lived selves, and they got very clan-based. They got very so they formed like large family clans, and they're kind of like they remain by themselves a lot, for the most part, especially around here, in this like part of the continent. So, wouldn't be surprising that they would form their own kind of subculture, their own accent, like separating themselves and kind of being away from everybody. So,
Is
Yeah.
the water clear, or is it just dirt, mud?
it's like a murky. It's very, very murky. There's like this time of year as well. There'd be moss plumes that are like here and there. So a lot of it you just don't even
You
see the
can't
top of the
see
water.
fish or the bottom or anything.
No. If you're trying to keep an eye on anything going into the water, plenty of things as you pass, like, you know, frogs, and you see a couple at a certain point, like a bird, like go into the water and then come out again with like a fish in its bill. Y'all might want to settle in. It's gonna be a bit. This isn't quick.
Are we there yet?
Down. No. Jessica sits down with her legs crossed, pulls out her journal, and just starts reading over stuff that she's written down over the last few days.
Oh, Kluft, would you like me to give you something to help you get through this?
Here's some
Are we
drugs.
there yet?
Rest of the party, would you like me to give something to Kluft to help us get through this?
He's got a blanket. He's got like a cloak over him.
Yeah,
you
he's
can see his elbows are up like that.
I was gonna say, Dagmar, out of anything that we have together, do we think we could knock him out?
It.
Him? He's a him. A dirty him, but he's a him
Is it?
That's fair.
Is Kluft under a blanket?
currently.
Yeah.
Right. So you just don't need anything to hit with, right? You take each end of the blanket.
It's
at the feet,
bedding.
and you
It's a
just keep battering on the boat until it stops moving.
what? Like you're trying to break a plate?
No, like
I mean,
Jason
that
does
will
in
get
that
him
one
to
movie.
stop talking. Yes.
I'm not attacking Kluft.
Eventually.
So will the brain damage.
Yeah.
I was just gonna see if I could hotbox him in the or
So
something.
here's
to
some dank kush.
Okay, you don't want a painful way of making. Okay, right. You still
Yeah.
grab all the ends of the blanket, and you hold it in the water until it
No,
stops moving.
I'm not waterboarding him either.
No, that's
Okay.
just drowning,
I,
Midge.
you know,
That's just
Okay.
right.
Just until it stops moving, then you
There's
pull
a
it
little
out
one.
and resuscitate.
you know what? I will just start trying to
Is the dirty
regale.
one having some trouble? Cause I could give you something.
The fact that this
The dirty
individual
one, you
called
have to
him
be more
a
specific.
dirty one is the. What did you have in mind, Kluft? This person wants to help you. And I pull off the blanket as well.
Just like tapping.
This person wants to give you. Yeah, almost. This person wants to give you something for the journey.
Gives like
Is it land?
Gives it a good push so he doesn't have to do it for a bit with the raft, and he goes down by his side. There's like a which you assume to have been like some sort of lunch bag or something like that. It's just a bag that he has there. He takes out like a little clay jug that's it's about like this size, like a clay jug, and he just he takes the cork stopper out and goes, yeah, that's one. Hey, take a good chug of this.
It's just abstinent.
Is it medicine?
I mean, it makes me feel better.
Oh, so long as it's not medicine. I heard that's bad for you. Okay, and I'll take it, and I guess I'll just immediately chug it. The way he suggested.
Oh God. Does Kluft go blind?
Does Kluft go blind?
Give me a
It's
rule.
one eye. The one eye that he has.
No, I'm gonna need Kluft to make a. Just give me a second here. I'm bringing up the.
I assume it'd be toughness.
Here. Yeah, I'm gonna need a toughness test. Since you said you were chugging it, it's a hard toughness test. That's a negative 20.
Oh God.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay. I got a 14.
Oh wow. You
Which
might
is
have
really
passed it.
good. Let me see what my toughness is, though. I don't know if that will be enough. At minus. Do you mean? Oh, toughness.
Yeah.
Is that a brawn?
It's a
That's a
bronze.
brawn check. So
Yeah.
so you're trying to roll under your brawn minus 20.
don't make it.
Number.
I don't make it.
Wow.
13 would be what I would need.
Oh.
You were one off.
Yeah. My brawn is
so,
43.
So yeah, you give it like a good chug, and then you're it takes like a second, and then things just start going like they elongate for a second, like your vision, and then you just goes away. At that point, you're no longer conscious.
Okay.
He just grabs it like before you go down. All right.
Do you have any more of that? Do you have any more of that?
Oh, you can buy it.
Yeah, yes, I want to. I want to.
Not from me. You can buy it in the village. This is good. This is good, hearty, elvish brandy.
Do you mind if I take a smell?
There's a guy with like a sword on his hat down the bottom of the screen for me. Do not let him anywhere near anything elvish and brandyish.
Sure, go ahead. You can take. There's like a couple of sips left.
She just like takes it and just sniffs it before she doesn't drink it. She just goes, takes a good deep sniff of it.
Okay, I need you to make a toughness test regular.
Okay.
On the sniff. Oh boy,
So
I
I'm
want
a
some.
58 toughness. That is a... Oh, that's a critical success. That's 44.
Okay, yeah, you do like it hits you pretty hard.
It's strong.
Like,
That shit's strong.
Whoa.
I'd say if I had to guess, she says after recovering a little, that's probably about 65% alcohol. Maybe a bit more.
like, oh wow, you clear brush with this.
Right, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So it's what I've
This
done.
isn't alcohol, this is
I've
paint thinner.
I've picked up Kluft in the blanket, tied it off around my neck, and wearing it like a baby sling sort of thing.
Aw.
So Newton's just carrying a dirty baby.
I mean, Kluft would be about the right height for a baby ogre. So
Probably like.
Yeah.
So yeah, she'll just hand it back to him.
We may be able
Thanks.
to clean him now.
I would
No.
try that if I were you.
No, that would be. That's
You
just.
wake him up.
Ashen, as much as I appreciate the sentiment, I'm pretty sure he'd wake up the second we put him anywhere near water.
That's like some sort of sixth sense.
For reference, by the way, like smelling that, like that's equivalent to like potion mediums in terms of like its purity.
Oh
So,
wow!
She's just like, oh Jesus, holy shit.
Yeah. So you could theoretically, if you were making like it can substitute certain.
So it's ethanol.
crafting
It's
Essentially.
ethanol.
It's like, yeah, I mean, there's enough flavor there that an elf could like pick out the flavors and the nuances of it, but really it's just
Ethanol.
It's jet fuel.
Okay.
It's absinthe with like a drip of like vanilla flavoring in there. Just
So how much does a jar of that normally cost? How much does it set you back?
Oh well, I help the brewers find what they need around here, so I get a little discount. But so I don't know how much it costs. I never bought it.
Right.
They just they give me a couple every time they make a batch, and then I'm kind of low on it actually. So I'm probably gonna ask them about that.
I will follow you there.
I mean, it's probably not a bad idea, Newton. If I had to guess, you could probably
Up,
use
up, up,
that
up,
to
up, up.
make something.
Just that, and yes.
You didn't
Tot-
smell it, you wouldn't know.
I saw the effects, and I think I could do a lot more than just make things.
That's fair.
The mind works in mysterious ways, and I am one to help it.
Ashton's
It's called
gonna nap.
alcoholism.
And he just keeps pushing along as you go. Is there anything anybody wants to do during the journey?
I'm gonna just slowly rock Kluft.
Hush, little dirt baby, don't you cry.
It's like this is slowly turning into Newton's version of what's the Hideo Kojima game with the
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
yeah, the sludge everywhere. I've got something trapped in my chest, and we're going across
And
country.
We're walking.
Yeah, like
And we're walking.
And we're strolling.
And we're walking. We're walking.
In this case, we're floating.
Yeah. So, as you go, it takes the better part of the afternoon. As you go, the swamp gets thicker as you go deeper and deeper into it. You're not going like to another like exterior part or another edge of the swamp. You're going right into the center of it. And you see the thickness of the trees and the mangroves get thicker and thicker, and it becomes harder and harder, you would think, for somebody to kind of traverse this if they didn't know already. And Halamar has to have done this trip 1,000 times because there's no stops or anything. He just knows, like, oh, we're taking this trip, we're gonna turn here, and we're gonna turn here, take this blind turn here. It's just like this little like maze through here that he takes you. Nothing happens. No creatures give you any mind. So at some point, a couple like a kind of long-legged bird just lands at the front of the raft and kind of looks at you for a while as you're slowly moving, and then just flies away until you arrive into like it's like the thickness of the swamp gives way to a much more cleared area. And so deep in the swamp, you come across a section of small islands just above the green and mossy waterline. The light from above and to the side as the waning light of the day highlights, even from a distance, you can see small floating docks that reach out into the water, made of gray boards and seem to be in different stages of disrepair or worn use. Further into the islands, you see many huts, each of them standing on stilts made from thick lumber. Some with signage, others with small stands along their sides, with individuals selling goods and talking and socializing. There seems to be a not much presence on the land itself. It's above it. So there's like walkways that are supported by timbers and stuff that are connecting everything. And as you get closer, the sounds of activity echo through the clearing. As you get closer, with the sounds of children playing and idle conversations blending in with the sounds of wildlife and the general swamp itself. And Halamar points out, all right, here we are. Just gotta find a place to bring us in. And he kind of gets you until you're slowly going around the village. That seems to be this big, like, semicircular clump of huts. And he brings you into a dock that's connected to a set of stairs that goes up. Okay, here we are.
Huh?
If you gonna wanna, is this a one way or you wanna go back?
We're gonna want to go back.
Okay, you find me here then. I'm gonna take. You find me here whenever you need to go. And he like gets on. He gets like starts laying down on his like his raft. And he
Well,
like
if you wanted to go and look into that brandy, we're gonna be here a little while anyway. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Gets up, takes his bag.
We will find you around, I suppose. Just ask about you, right?
Yeah, just ask for Hal.
Wow.
All right, thank you for the safe trip, Hal. Hope your shopping goes well.
Yeah, I hope whatever you were doing goes good.
Bye now. And she's gonna look around for any reasonable-looking adult.
Yeah, no, it's not like it has a very different feel to Low Hill. You see children playing in the walkways, older gentlemen, like with their feet dangling off the side with like with long poles and like fishing. Just a general sense of like just community emanating. And so if you're going to the first like kind of adult that looks, I mean, they all look.
I'll go up to the older gentleman fishing.
Like looks over to you.
Hey, gentlemen. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. I just wanted to ask a question, if that's all right. Yeah,
Scare the fish.
Sorry. Yeah, I just want to ask a question, if that's all right.
Yeah. What do you need?
I'm just looking for Aiden Barder. I heard he's around.
Aiden. Oh, he's a funny fella. Want to talk funny? You probably find him at the off egg. Just go deeper in. You'll know the building.
All right, thank you. Good fishing. Hope you catch something.
Thank you,
And she'll
tall woman.
walk back to the group and go this way, and she'll just start walking into the village looking for the egg.
I ain't got nothing better to do, so I'll duly follow.
Yeah, I'm gonna wake Kluft up slowly with my giant mitt of a hand.
Just puts
It worked. Am I able to wake up?
Good try.
It's been a couple
How
hours.
hungover are you?
Hold on. Yeah, you're good.
It'd just be
You're
like,
good. You like it's like you've been in the family. It's a family trip and you get woken up. We're at grandma's.
it's just move your head from the seatbelt. You got the seatbelt mark. Just you're in like the body hammock right now. I'll just go. Kluft, we're here, but water is everywhere, so you might want to stay in the body hammock.
I want to like rub my eyes. Do I have a hangover?
Oh yes.
I like put my thumb in my mouth and I kind of look over the side.
You see a village that is high up. It's a high up village. You see ground and water beneath it. They're all on stilts, but like everybody's kind of in a state of like nothing's like super clean. So it's kind of like it's like a dichotomy between like your perfect place and the worst place you could ever be.
Are there any railings?
Oh yeah, kind of. Like during places that are really well traversed and they don't have anything on the other side, there are like ropes that you can like hold on to, or you can kind of like lean against. That I go up there, so there's nothing like.
I want to look up at Newton and say okay. And then like lie back a bit with my finger, like my thumb in my mouth, as I nurse this splitting headache. This sounds incredible. I wish this could be real life. I just get carried around everywhere.
Where can I find my 9 foot
ogre.
tall?
Yeah.
Carried around like giant ogre. You just get fed and just like stupidly rich alcohol.
Oh, it sounds incredible. This is so good. Exactly the Tuesday I needed.
Instead of Uber, it's ogre.
It's ogre. One thing I'm not even gonna make any of you roll for it because you at least recognize the sound of it. It seems the common language everybody is speaking is not the common language. Everybody is speaking Elvish to each other. So it is a very accented.
Is that
Elvish.
notable then?
I think it'd be notable in the sense that it's odd because elves aren't actually that common in a lot of like places, because elves are very clan based in this day and age. They stick around each other a lot. So the ones that are outside usually just kind of adapt to wherever they're going. So you have like you have like Hester, who has an accent from Altria, but he speaks common and he's adapted to the local. I don't think any of you would have been in an Elvish village before, so it's a
yeah, that's true. Unless, well, no, Jeska would have grown up with her family, which would have been Elvish, but not really.
Yeah, so there's a very clan-based thing. So everybody's speaking kind of Elvish, a very accented Elvish.
She's straining to hear some of it, because like some of it is like I can understand it, but it's very difficult to understand.
Yeah, it's Elvish spoken with a southern accent. So,
Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah, so it's like Elathunity. Do it.
She's like, hang on, what is? Oh, okay.
Ungalahan.
It makes her look. She looks like she's straining to hear it, but when she's starting to get the dialect a little bit after a while.
But yeah, you walk further in, and what you see is you have this very complex, like almost boardwalk kind of system. Like all of the buildings have like decks that run around them that also connect to pathways that then kind of form streets that are made of wood and timber that are above the floor of the swamp. And as you get deeper, you do see like some of them are large. Like the outskirts were like one-room shacks with various construction. But as you get deeper into it, you start seeing like large buildings with like that are on like 6 or 8 stilts, kind of in like or long houses, that kind of stuff. And in the center of town, you see a very big open area, like a very big open, like artificial kind of square, essentially, that has been erected, and connecting to that is a multi-story building that it looks to maybe be an inn. In front of it, there's a whole bunch of like chairs and tables and stuff, and there's a lot of people like enjoying the night or the afternoon air as they drink and eat there.
Well, for one, I think everyone is hungry. For two, I think Kluft needs a hangover cure. And for 3,
I'm like,
he needs more than that.
well, listen, let's deal with the small problems first. And then I believe Aiden should be in there. And she's going to walk up to the door.
Okay, yeah, you walk past like the outer ring of tables and chairs and stuff, and there's various people, and there's not like a single door. Like the front of the establishment is very open, so you can just walk in. You kind of walk in, and then there is like a covered area where there are tables and chairs. And then there's like a bar, and what you can see is like a kitchen in the back. Mm-hmm. And this village isn't like huge. So it definitely looks like the square and like the tavern are a little outsized for what you'd expect the village is if it was just a tavern. So it does look a little out of place in that sense. Okay. But yeah, if you want to walk inside, yeah, you hear oddly quick string elven music. That is being played with a fervor you have not seen in other elven cultures.
She does pause and listens for a moment to that because it's unique,
it's like
and it also kind of reminds her of home at the same time.
It's like a second where you go like, I recognize that song, but then it takes like a weird twist.
Yeah, it's like country pop. It's like, huh.
I was born in a... Have you seen that? The bluegrass version of AC/DC? It's just that.
Basically.
It's that.
Yeah, kind of.
are elves a creature that I would have seen often, like growing up, or were they rare and ephemeral?
Well, you were in Linnigan. It's one of the larger cities.
Yeah.
So if you've seen elves, there was like a little elf like enclave in inside of Lintigan. Whether or not you want to have like interacted with them, you could have, but they were
Would they have been like rich, or would they have been hung around the Rakken and folk?
not overly so. Like not as many, or not any more so than others.
Okay.
They just like, if they didn't have to, they didn't really like interacting with others too much. It's this weird thing where like a lot of the other races of the world, all the other kindred are very. A lot of those like racial barriers have kind of broken down over the centuries. Long are the days of adventurers going and killing an orcish village because they ordained to set camp somewhere near a human settlement. But the elves kind of did a reversal because they had a big period of time where they were kind of dying out, and they kind of came together as a species or as a people, and have kind of formed these like clans. So they'll be like, they're not xenophobic, but they just like sticking to their own. It's like sticking. They're very insular. So they have a culture that's kind of just like weird. It hasn't really meshed.
Oh,
really
okay.
Adapted externally, so like you'll hear weird, like most of them talk their original language. They don't like they'll be somewhat conversational in whatever land they're in. Sometimes in like like you've heard of like in the very northern nations, they'll have like autonomous elven enclaves that are technically a part of the nation, but they have their own councils and stuff, and they don't really, they don't bother them. It's fine, kind of thing. So
the elves are Western Ireland, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, out west, we don't talk about them.
Right.
Okay. So they're a little bit parochial elves then. They don't like mix then very much. They don't wander out of their own enclaves much.
They don't, definitely not. That like, it's very like you have a clan name that you're when they may not everybody in the clan's not necessarily related by blood, but they're a clan name, and so you kind of they're very they'll help a clan member. They'll like put one up for the night if they meet one or something like that. It's very like you've got that kind of fire with them. So yeah, in
that case, then I'm gonna put my hand inside my pocket that's filled with lint, and I'm gonna grasp them hard in my hand in case one of them tries to magic it away from me. I don't think so, elves. I don't think so. And I'll look around suspiciously at them all.
Yeah, and but yeah, you enter into the establishment and you see just a whole lot of individuals. Doesn't look like there's like one owner. Just everybody's kind of like taking orders or managing like the tables that are currently occupied. There's a band playing, that kind of thing.
How far down does Newton have to crouch?
Or down does Newton have to crouch?
Newton walks around hunched normally anyway, and if we're inside a building, I have got Kluft out of the carry hold.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's just like, I want to get down now. I was like,
kind of reluctantly.
Like that toddler that doesn't. It's that toddler that. Instead of being in the pram, wants to be carried. It's that.
Yeah.
But no,
Kluft will reluctantly go out. And you'll see, like, inside your hammock will have been like a little bed of like junk and trash that has kind of slipped out of his various pockets from like having moved around. And he'll like kind of like reach up on his tippy toes and begin trying to take back loads of it.
I just pick up one thing. It's just like, how on earth did someone put a hole through the center of a spoon? Oh wait!
Dazed looking crow just comes out and just starts flying away.
Where else would you put the hole? And,
But no, to answer your question, Jeska, on the day-to-day, Newton walks like super hunched with his arms behind his back anyway, because he is like, he knows how scary to some his height can be. So he like, even though he's 9 foot, he walks at the height of about 6. So it's like
He was crouched and squat down a little bit, basically.
his thighs are just.
Drakel.
Yeah, he's got the massive thighs.
Yes.
Make a. I want you to go ahead and make an awareness check.
There's a kid running around behind you trying to catch your tail.
Oh.
25.
25. Is that a success? I don't know what your awareness is. Okay. Good.
21.
21. Okay. Cool. So yeah, you Drakel, as you're kind of walking kind of near the like kind of not back, but like with the rear of the whole like group, you definitely notice because you're not as common. Lizardkin are not as
Really?
common around here.
You surprised me.
They're not as common around here. So there are about 3 or 4 what look to be. It's hard to tell with the other kindreds, but probably children, that are just trying but not succeeding in like hiding as they look at you. Like they're just like interested. You're different.
Mommy, look at the gator walking on 2 legs.
That might have something to do with it too, because you definitely. Why is that gator walking?
Speciest.
Perhaps.
But no, the kids are just like curious.
It answers if you play him a silver.
They're not close. They're like maybe like 10 or 12 feet back. So they're not like impeding you, but you do notice them.
Are they following along?
Yeah, in a way, like if you probably caught him like halfway to the tavern / to the tavern that you're going to, and you kind of like notice the little like group have latched on, and they're like stay around one corner for a bit until you like go across, and then you see them again a couple of minutes later. They're in another corner. They're just looking. They're like interested. They're curious kids. Like you're not exactly sure age wise, because I don't know if you've interacted with elfkin a lot, and they're very long lived, so
Even if I had, I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah, so they're small. They're like kids, but you
Okay.
do notice it because they're not very stealthy. I rolled. They're horrible. They're kids.
Is there a chair nearby?
No, there's a whole lot. Like if you're in the tavern section, like there's outside, there's a big like deck, like the square, and then a section where like in front of the tavern they just have a whole bunch of chairs, like outside, you know, where you would drink and eat, kind of outside. So yeah, there's plenty.
We shouldn't eat any food here.
Shut up, Kluft.
We gotta be careful.
This isn't Mexico.
Where the hell's Mexico?
I'm telling you though.
I'm going to pull up
The
a
elves, they only
chair.
trust their own. And who would live in water?
Yes, Drakel, what were you doing? Pulling up.
I'm pulling up a chair and turning it towards the kids, and then cooking a
Okay.
finger and going.
All right. Second.
Go around, children.
Gather round, Uncle Drakel will tell you a story.
Okay. Yeah. No, they're not scared of you. They deal with gators. So,
I'm a scary guy.
yeah. They deal with gators. They go frog gigging as a hobby. So
I don't even know what that is.
frog gigging.
I don't want to know what that is. Continue.
Or no, it'd be catfish gigging, which would be better. It's basically, you're catching catfish with your hands,
Ah, right.
but you're doing it by putting your hand in catfish burrows.
But
'Cause they burrow.
how do you know they're a catfish?
That's the thing, because it can also be a snapping turtle, so it's a dangerous like game, but it's a thing.
Well,
people
there
do
goes
it.
a finger.
And you catch the catfish by it swallowing your hand and you bringing it up, and it's just a catfish on the end of your hand, and that's what it is. It's like,
Roach sounds like he has experience with this.
Oh, I'd never do it because it's such a stupid and very dangerous thing to do. But it's something like teenagers do all the time in the South. So, yeah, no, they come up to you.
Look, if you're gonna be sneaky, you've got to stay to the shadows.
You're cool.
I'm aware of this. Now, also, work in pairs, not a big group. One person gets close, the other goes, look at me, I'm over here, and then you steal the wallet. You don't just kind of follow. It's useless, okay?
Is Dagmar in earshot of this?
Unless he's trying to be stealthy. I mean, it's an open air. It's an open air eatery.
There's someone just over, like, just eating a stew, just kind of looks up like.
And then I get a couple of copper pieces and just kind of flip them over to the lead one and go. But nice moves. Wouldn't have caught you if you hadn't made a mistake earlier on. Now get lost.
like giggles and laughs as they go off. They're not like you weren't as intimidating. You weren't intimidating to them, but they definitely found you interesting. While that's going on, the rest of the party. So you're entering into the establishment. You just see a lot of like people. Like it's later afternoon, so people are getting like food or socializing and stuff like that. So what do you want to do to try and find your quarry?
I'm gonna walk up to the bar. As you
All right.
I'm going to speak in Elvish. It's not great Elvish, but it's Elvish. To the bartender, whoever is behind the bar, and say, "Sorry, but can I get some food? Can I get some meals for my friends and I? And I'm looking for somebody."
Hold on.
Do they understand her accent?
It's like somebody who has a passable knowledge of Parisian French, then going to Quebec and trying to speak that.
Yeah,
to
that's
the
fair.
people. Yeah. What's like that? I don't understand. Yeah.
Not a bad French accent though.
He's like,
Au revoir, Shoshila.
yeah, food. You want? He's like tapping the menu.
Oh, sorry. I'll speak in common. It's okay.
No, he said that in Elvish.
Oh. Yeah, she'll be like, yeah. And then she'll say, Aiden.
Lamwan. He's like putting the food.
She'll say, Aiden Barter. Looking for him. Dog's barking.
That's happening. There's a dog in the establishment. Just like a little bloodhound. He points over to like the like one of the tables like near the entrance, and you see like a doesn't stand too far out, but like somebody who's a little better dressed than everybody. He's got some like a notebook in front of him, like a glass and a plate that's kind of empty, just kind of not paying attention outside.
She'll order up like 4 plates because there's 4 people here at the bar right now of something off the menu. It doesn't really bother her.
Just picking. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Roll me 4 d10s.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 7, a 2, a 6, and a dice gone. And a 6, so 2 6s.
2 6s, 7 and 2. Cool. Like gives you a thumbs up. And he has like he puts out like a full hand, like 5, and he takes out like a copper piece.
I'll hand him 5 copper pieces. And then she will walk over to. She will lean over to Ashen and Newton and say, "That's our man." And she'll point at the fella at the door.
Drakel's just come in.
yeah, you see all this. They're
I wave at the guy again. Order something random off the menu for Drakel.
Drakel doesn't all random. You have no idea what you've ordered for him.
Yeah, I'm going to roll the dice again.
No. I'm fine, thank you.
all right. So, okay.
I'll have his.
That's true, actually. Yeah, she'll order an extra meal for Newton.
I technically have to
That
eat
makes
more
more
than
sense.
others. I technically
order
have to
extra
be
meal for Newton.
bored.
She'll
Unfortunately,
order number 5 for Newton. as
Number
well.
5, cool.
Yeah.
Number 5 with fries, large Coke.
I was gonna say, do the
Number
big
9
smoke
with extra
order.
dip.
Diet Coke. He likes the taste better.
Yeah. And number 6 with extra dip.
I don't trust people that say that. They like the taste of Diet Coke better.
Nonsense.
I don't trust anyone.
Utter nonsense.
Or
Monsters.
I'll have 2 large meals with extra chips and Diet Coke. I'm watching my weight.
Anyway,
So, yeah, you're pointing that out, and that's you give another copper piece, and
Yeah, that's fine.
That's all. It's all paid. So,
Cool.
Cool.
yeah. So she's going to look at Newton. Well, now that Drakel's here, she's going to inform him of who is at the where their person of interest is, and then just kind of
Can
go.
we-
Do we just go over to them? Just
Can we just bag them and tag them and get out of here?
Well, we're looking to talk to them, not. I mean, they can join you in the hammock if you want.
Like how Kluft goes from I don't really want to do anything to let's black bag our witness and get the fuck out of
Let's
here.
actually. Well, when I hear bag and tag, I hear like mortuary. So that in my mind,
Yeah,
is
it's-
murder.
I have a question.
Whatever, let's get out of here.
Does anyone have the jugs of alcohol that our boatman was drinking?
Nope.
You didn't follow him to go get any.
No.
He didn't give
Do
you-
anyone in here? Is anyone in here look like they're drinking
Oh.
any?
That's fair. Actually, it's a good point.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole lot of like. It's hard because none of the jugs that you saw him drinking from were of the same size
Yeah, but
or of the same make. They were all clay, the clayware with corks in it. You do see people like. You definitely see the bar pouring some into like cups and like giving it out. Like so that maybe.
I want to try and inquire of where I can get them.
Okay. Do you speak Elvish?
I don't know. How did we define if we speak languages or not?
Jess can only speak it because she grew up with an elven family.
I grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up around humans, so
So no, you know common and that's it.
Your local
And
tongue from your kingdom.
I know
yeah,
local
which is
tongue
Pensy
and
yeah, nobody's speaking Pensy.
oh well, when you
Jess
say
knows-
Pensy makes me for some reason my head went Bostonian. It's like no one speaks Pensy. It's like
That's fair. That's fair.
but no,
Jess
I do
does
speak a
know
little bit
that
of Latin. We did work that or whatever the
Yeah.
Latin equivalent is. But
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Old Alfish, I believe, is what you call it.
No, it was Old Arcanum.
Old Arcanum. But Jess does know that Newton wants to get some of that stuff, so she will ask whoever's at the bar, "Where do you get your alcohol?"
I'm gonna get your alcohol.
Strong.
Drunk. You're just a whole bunch of tourists that have just gone.
The
One
bill.
person
The
who
bill.
speaks
The
moderate
bill.
Spanish, but it's like we're in like Brazil.
That's a good one.
I speak moderate Spanish, but I'm in Brazil.
Yeah, somebody, and then just one local just goes, "No, we speak Portuguese here. What are you talking about?" I'm sorry.
That's a good analogy.
There's just a whole bunch of Archer references because that's a joke in Archer just flooded into my brain.
Just open those floodgates. Just
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No. You ask. They. I'm just gonna roll a luck check because I mean they're not like totally cut off. Actually, it was pretty good. Yeah. No. One of the bartenders who wasn't interacting with you comes across and goes, "What are you asking for?" I'm sorry. Norm doesn't speak common. He doesn't.
Which
Might
town?
I inquire where you can get ones of them strong alcohols?
Wow.
I want to die. I want to die.
I'm just going to end participation here.
Yeah, I'm going. See you guys later.
Let's just insult the locals to their face.
you all go in just going like, oh, this is a quaint establishment. This is great. And then you start talking like in an accent, and then 10 hours later, the place is on fire or something like that.
Honestly, that sounds like something we would do.
The place is on fire and your head is outside on a spike.
This is...
Yeah, cut to 3 hours later, you're going through the swamp and you see like torches behind you and like it's a chasing. Yeah, no, we get ours. There's a local a local brews it, we buy it from them. It's not like a business or anything, but are you wanting to buy some? We could, I mean, we serve it, so if you want to, if you just want like a glass, we'll give you one.
Want a bottle? Yeah.
A whole jug. Okay. Yeah, I'll write down I'll write down how to get to it.
Newton, please stop talking like that. You're making me uncomfortable.
And he just like, he goes in a little parchment, a little like charcoal pencil, and just like, and rips it and gives you like a very crude but effective map of kind of like the walkways you need to take to get to where this is. Right,
Thank you.
Your food will be done in like 5 minutes.
No, thank you. Take your time.
So yeah, that happens. Are you going to question or going to interact with the person, or just stare at them?
I will if no one else is going to say anything, I will just walk over to him and say in common, hey, you're Aiden, right?
Hello?
Hey,
Is it me you're looking for?
fuck off. Damn it, you fucking piece of shit. This might be a bit strange, but me and my companions have come from Low Hill.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can tell.
Yeah, we kind of stand out.
It's one word.
Yeah, thank you. I've had much less flattering words used, but I'll take it. Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. Take a seat.
Are they speaking in common or in Elvish?
Yeah, no, he's speaking in common.
Yeah, she was like, I'm not going to try and speak Elvish to the people who don't speak the same tongue I do. I might as well just try common. And we know Aiden speaks common because he's from outside. He was outside the village, so.
Sure.
Yeah, no, take a seat. He's speaking in like an accented common, but it's nothing out of the ordinary.
She'll sit down. Thank you.
So your friends too, if you want.
She'll like drag her hand up and be like,
drag a seat, drag a chair. Do you need drink? I can order.
No. We've already got food sorted. Don't worry about it. We're fine. Thank you very much, though. It's very, very hospitable of you. So, Low Hill's been in a bit of a situation, but we're not going to drag you back to that. You're obviously happy here. I just wanted to ask a few questions about the lumber situation that was going on before you came back here.
Like a scrutinize check.
Sure. Scrutinize. Hang on.
Anybody can if they would like.
Oh, hell yes.
45. Okay. That's God's caliber. No, that is a 81.
God's caliber. No, it's a 30-6.
It's fair. It's fair.
38, I needed 41.
Cool.
That's a note from me.
All right, so 1.
A note from me for once.
A whole note from me.
All right. The only person who notices this is Drakel. You see, as soon as Jeska brings up the logging attack situation, you see a good portion of color like drain from his face for a bit. His face doesn't change, but you can like subtly tell that he's he's like kind of taken aback by it. Okay. I can. What can I help with?
We were. There's been some strange happenstance. Large packs of organized wolves and ratkin and very unique situations. Hester went missing. Found him in the old mines.
Strange one. That one.
Useful. Strange.
Did you trade the wolves to attack people traveling down the roads?
Wow, that is a hell of a thing to accuse somebody
Slaps
of.
back of head.
Ugh. I'm just saying, elves have been known to hypnotize people and drag them from their beds at night.
You're
It wouldn't be
Slaps back of
outlandish to
head.
think a wolf did it.
Like a quarter of the people in the establishment just kind of like look.
I hold up both my
Yeah.
hands and say, I am not going to defend him on this one. If you want to drag him out and make a show of him, fine. He deserves it for that one.
You're mistaking elves and pixies.
No, old
Also-
Speedy Gout says they eat children.
Also, he is kind of attacking my culture because my family is Elvish. I know it doesn't quite seem it, but, you know.
I
mean, Jess was just-
instinctively jump back.
Yeah,
I'm
just
adopted.
reveal that to
I
everybody.
knew there was something off about you since the
Yeah.
very beginning.
Jess just revealed that to everyone. Just goes, listen, he's attacking my family too. I don't like it either. If you want to take him
Dagmar.
outside, do what you want. I don't care.
Dagmar's going to lean in and quietly whisper into his ear. You keep talking like that. I'll kill you before they kill all the rest of us. Make your choice.
I want to look back and be like, why is everybody so violent? There is a thing called
Would you like-
conflict resolution, you know.
Would you like to get back in the hammock?
The problem,
I'm just saying, it's an honest question.
the problem you must understand, right, is the fact that you went on a question on the irritation skill that went from a 1 to a fucking 20 in like the instant that question came out your mouth. That's why we're turning violent in this situation, because they're all suddenly thinking that you're some sort of speciesist.
It's like the quarter of the people that like looked up over their shoulders, kind of like give an odd look, and they go back down to whatever they were doing. It's like a. Well, that was a really insulting thing to say. Better finish.
Well, you're a dick, and then go back.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
Yeah.
He hasn't answered the question yet.
I did. I said no. No. I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware this was occurring.
I believe you.
Thank
And
you.
my opinion matters more than his right now.
I will take your word. What? Okay.
We were just wondering. I was wondering, and so were some of my friends here.
All right.
We were wondering if maybe there was some sort of connection there between the logging and the wolves and other stuff going on.
Could you tell us what you remember?
Like, takes his glass and like. It's a
I'll
drink.
buy you
puts
another
it down. It wasn't. It didn't take very long. It was very quick. So there's not a lot. I was already questioned by Benjamin.
Good fellow, that Benjamin.
The one-legged sheriff.
He does stand up.
He's when it happened, it was early in the morning. There was a lot of fog coming in. We heard some noises coming from the forest, and we sent a group out to go and check what was going on. I was a part of that group. We saw not much shapes in the fog. Very fast. Odd lights, odd green lights. Deeper into the forest.
Was it a light in the sky?
No, not the sun. It was on ground level, like a
Like a torch or a lantern?
like a torch, but it was green.
It was a willy witch.
It was steady.
Am I aware of any natural phenomena?
Yeah, can we make a folklore on that?
Because, Martian type things could affect.
I will
there's
assist Dagmar on that roll if he can do that.
Maybe Jupiter was in the house of Saturn and
Some retrograde at that point in time. Yeah. If you want to make folklore tricks, you can. It's at a -10.
Yeah, so I'll assist Dagmar with that roll.
I'm looking for a 53 on this then, even at a -10. So
37.
I got a 50 flat. So oh no, that's a 5. That's sorry.
Nice. Nice. What's
So
the roll,
that's-
Utari?
I'm not training it. Oh, it doesn't flip around. That's okay. 29.
I rolled a
I'm
10,
rolling against
so
a-
you could get a 19 if you want to take my dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a pass. Strong pass.
So anyone that succeeded with this, there's a lot of things it could be. There's some odd fae that maybe could do something like that. If you're thinking like supernatural effects, like just the description of an odd green light through the fog on ground level is not a lot to go off of. But
Sounds like a willy witch.
which the wall.
You mean Will-O-Wisp?
Wall- yes.
No, it's a completely different thing.
While he's mispronouncing it, Will-O-Wisp, does sound, could be kind of like that could match. There's a lot of different things it could be. A lot of spirits that are talked about could emit light. There are some undead like effects that might be able to do it. There's a lot of fae or spirits that could do something like that. So it's very non-descriptor. So you're kind of you're going like, could be a lot of things. What he's saying, and no, but it's just green light. Lots of shapes coming in and out of the fog. And then we started hearing things back at the camp, a lot of screams. And we doubled back, and when we got there, more than half were gone. The ones there said they had been taken.
Scrutinize.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Taken by what?
I wasn't there. It was... They said it was something out of the fog, grasped them and pulled them in. Yes, what was your scrutinize check?
I need to get a 51. I got 41.
Seems to be telling the truth. At least to him, he
So-
thinks he's telling the truth.
When we were attacked by the wolves initially, they attacked us in the fog, remember?
Yeah.
Did we see any green lights that preceded that attack?
No.
Okay.
It was a heavy fog, but
The
no
only
green
light
lights.
I remember was the light from what we believe to be the primordial wolf, which was the wolf's eyes, like blue red in the fog. Well, I'm sorry to have brought it up. It can't be an easy thing to talk about.
He's fine. I came here to get away from it. I'd rather not go somewhere else. It's
I get
I don't know. I don't know what to think. It's
There was... I don't want to pry too much, so let me know if I am. But there was nothing found afterwards. No bodies, nothing.
some were taken through the fog. We looked after the fog had burned off. We found a couple of their personal items that had been left here and there. Some broken sticks.
Are we sure they weren't just work shy? Maybe they went off to play lute and sing songs in the forests.
Kluft, shut up.
That's what Spirit God says the elves do.
Shut up.
These might not have all been elves. Look, was there anything that happened before? Like, you said that things drew you into the forest. Had anything like this happened before? Anything out of the out of the normal? In the days leading up to it.
It's an old forest. There's a lot that grows. Nobody's been there for a long time, so there's this feeling of being in an ageless place. So you get the what do you call it? You get the shivers when you're out there.
It's
you're
like
alone.
It's like being in a place where you know other things are and could be.
It's very old, and maybe it was a bit worse there. I didn't feel right. I always felt like something was looking over my shoulder.
Okay.
Well, the place is haunted.
Is there anything that like mythologically makes people, or like that we like spirit like supernaturally makes people feel at unease when it's like stalking?
There's a lot supernatural things. A lot of them naturally make supernatural things in a sense make a lot of natural creatures what am I trying to say? Make them feel very edge. Put some on edge very quickly. Makes them uncomfortable naturally. So just being in proximity can make you feel kind of odd, like you get like kind of the lizard brain response, no offense to Drakel, of just like a predator nearby, and you're kind of just immediately on edge about that. So like there's this base natural response that kind of just comes to the forefront. You get like you get goosebumps, and you're just like something's out here, even
Hair
if that's
on neck goes up, and you're like, yep, this isn't good.
Even if that's not exactly what's happening at that point in time, even though just like nearby. So there's a lot that could. It definitely is much closer to things like the things like Fae.
Oh no.
Do that a lot. Fae are kind of this primeval proto spirits that exist. They don't. They've just been around for a very long time. Most of them, like in mythology, are very benign, unless you've done something to make them less so. But there are some that are naturally hostile to living beings. So could be a lot.
Would you say Benjamin knows which part of the woods the logging was taking place?
Yeah, he would. Yes, he would know where the attack happened.
Well, I'm starting to think maybe there was something in that woods that did not want you to chop it down.
I wouldn't discount that. It's like I say, it was odd. There was just something there. That's why I'm here with this clan. They live with their very uncomfortable swamp, and that makes it comfortable.
I can see that. I assume at this point the food has arrived. She will ask
a platter is being brought out.
Yeah, she'll ask whoever the server is to get Aiden another drink. She'll pay for it.
So what you see is you have two dishes that look to be the legs of some sort of amphibian that have been cooked and are laid out with a little sauce next to them. You have one that is just long strips of like a white meat that has been cooked. That's kind of like laid down. A couple of different very chunky, saucy soups, but they're different. So you've got basically you've got like 2 things of frog legs, an unknown long cooked meat.
Ate to meat.
There it is. There it is. There's the child.
I'll take one of the 2 soups.
Nope.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Hang on. I will take the one that's closest to me on the plate whenever they deliver it.
Okay. Yeah. If you take the food and you start eating it while this is all going on, the frog legs are frog legs. Have you ever had frog legs
Tastes like
before?
chicken.
They're yeah, just tastes like chicken. It's not. The sauce is very flavorful. That is served with, so you kind of like dunk it a little bit and you can eat that. Very
Nice.
good.
Cool.
The white meat is oddly, in a sense, kind of gamey, but not overly so, and it is cooked very succulently. The very chunky soups are chilies essentially. There's a lot of meat kind of ground in there, and a lot of like peppers and stuff. Basically, very hot, very spicy. Like a lot is being
Good for the humors.
chucked into those there. So yeah, it's a standard Bayou kitchen. It's
Good food. I won't complain.
Newton will eat any and all food that isn't eaten by others. So
I refuse.
But he kind of
Okay, so there's an extra plate for Newton then.
But yeah, that's served out. But yeah, it's, I don't know. It's if you're trying to go and find what's happening there, I'd say just leave it alone. Let the forest to itself.
There's been a lot of odd things happening, and in order to move on, because right now the stone bridge between Low Hill and everywhere else is currently out of action, and the blacksmith from Low Hill, I don't know I was never told his name, along with 2 other of Benjamin's deputies left to go north, and the horse came back with an arrow in its neck, and that was the only thing that came back. There's been a lot of happening around Low Hill, so it's probably a good thing you came here when you did. But in order for us to get out, we need to do some help.
Out of character, did we ever look at the arrow?
Yes.
yeah.
And did it betray any origin?
No.
it was a
Came from a bow.
It was a well-used arrow, so it was and a lot of the fletching had been kind of was very ratty and
Ratty. I see. He slipped.
Fuck you.
I hate you all.
I like where this is going.
Don't worry,
yeah,
I hate you too, Roach.
Yeah. No, I don't think you actually saw the arrow though, but you did get a description
We got
for
one
the
from Hester,
arrow
'cause Hester
from
was the one
Hester,
who dealt with that.
because that was the reason you went and got him, not only because he was the only herbalist in town, but also because he had been the one that treated the horse to give you a
Yeah.
clue. So
Sure.
that's how you got that.
So yeah, there's been a lot going on, Aiden.
Yes, I'm sorry. It's.
I know, I would prefer to leave the rest, but we need to figure out something.
Where did those? Did all of those who fell that day just disappear, or were they already buried?
No, I never found any bodies.
Damn it.
None of them died.
I was a weird bit. These the foreman. He always locked his door. You never get to him if he overslept in the morning. But his door was not broken in. He was just gone.
Work shy. Happens all the time.
The door had been opened, not broken, but he would never leave it unlocked.
So you're saying he could have just left instead?
This is what we thought, but we never found him.
You take his thing?
The rest were no, and the rest were taken. People saw him get snatched out of the fog, but he had been taken or left. And this accent is drifting hard. It started to
Where's this
one
accent
Just-
going?
Just
traveled the breadth of Europe at this point, the span of Europe.
dude.
Yes, go ahead, Ashen.
Was the... Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
Was he acting odd beforehand?
No, it was just a normal layabout, telling us what to do and then being lazy. But no, he was just him. Just his door. It was odd, and so he always found that was the one that stood out to me. He'd always lock his door. He never wanted to be bothered when he had been asleep.
Was he in a labor dispute of some kind? Asking for more pay and getting not enough. That happens all the time. Maybe he summoned an eldritch power of some kind in order to settle his payment dispute. So some form of
Yes.
strike action.
The
That's a bit
union
of a
negotiation
reach.
team.
It is a reach, but I suppose Cthulhu would be a pretty good guy to talk to about labor law.
Back at home, there was a demon summoned right into the middle of the city where there was the dispute over a wall.
Oh,
there's been a quite-
demons are
quite a lot of
canonically red,
bricklayers.
so
The Bricklayer Guild. They did it. It was a very big deal at the time.
But
Couldn't get demons out of your hair for days.
that's
They're
all
everywhere.
That's all I know. That's it.
so
Well,
if this individual was coaxed out of there, could folklore again? Is it within the realm of possibility that a fey creature could have, say, charmed an individual out of a locked room?
Yeah, there's some fake creatures that charm. Usually they require physical contact, or at least like
Right.
you need to be looking at them to do that.
For like a fey creature, it wouldn't need to charm anybody. It just needs to sound like an attractive young woman and bang on
Need
the
to
door saying,
saunter
"Please
out
help me."
of the
Yeah,
fog.
help! There's like a wolf after me. Someone will open their door for that.
Yeah, but yeah,
Fey or tricksy,
for,
you know?
for only.
Fey or-
An odd moment
Oh,
of
no, I-
clarity from Kluft.
Yeah, I keep having.
If you're wanting to try and narrow it down, that'd be another folklore check. And this one would be a -20. It'd be a harder one.
I'm
'cause
gonna
now you're getting
try
more
anyway.
information. You gotta try it.
Mainly
I'll
because.
assist you. I'll assist you.
Oh, so okay. Mainly because the mention of Fae puts Newt on heavily on edge.
Magic. Newton don't like magic.
Newton don't like magic.
No, it was specifically Newton don't like Fae.
Newton don't like nothing he can't explain.
I failed, I think.
I rolled a 10.
See, I rolled exactly what I would have needed if it was only a -10. It would have been a critical success, but I'm
But
10
you're-
over. Because you would have
Gain an
been.
aid, so you can replace your 10th spot with Mikey, and Mikey just
Which was a
rolled
10.
which is a
Oh,
10.
oh
So
right.
we have- so
10th spot, not the
not the second
one, so
number. It's
you
the first
replace the
number.
first
first number.
Yeah.
That's where we had
We talked
this
about
last
this
week, and I
last
mentioned, and it was the
Yeah.
other way around. Okay, no, that's
No,
fine.
no.
So I can replace my 50 with a 10. Perfect. Okay, then
Yeah.
I needed a 43, and I got a 13.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that narrows it down like a lot. It's either something that can influence somebody, or in which doors don't matter.
Hmm.
So that narrows it down quite a bit.
Yep.
Because there actually are a few creatures specifically that are known that locks don't work on.
Right.
Is the old adage of a vampire needing to be like welcomed into your house, is that a thing? Like it's that sort of
Oh yeah, for vampires, yes. Yeah.
yeah,
that's
that's
they
what I
need
would
to be
assume.
invited.
It's the same thing with certain other supernaturals too, where it's like you have to invite them across your threshold for them to be allowed in.
Can vampires cross running water in this setting?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, I hope not. I love it when vampires can't cross running water. It's such a weakness. It's so good. They can't go on boats.
But specifically,
Devastating.
if you're trying to figure out, like, if you're trying to narrow it down specifically, there are a couple that are ethereal, so they just don't actually have a body.
Right.
That would make it a little weird to snatch people, because normally their MO is to ethereally attack and just snuff out the life of an individual kind of through magic. So they would kind of just, they would leave a body. They don't really interact physically. There are some, they're called, right, they're known by a lot of different names, things like they're called ferrymen or pale riders exist, like skeletal
do any of these
spirits.
Do any of these are there any that have like a direct connection to walls?
None that you know of.
Okay. So just because my resolve on it has been pretty good, just quickly give a scrutinize, just for me.
Okay.
All right.
That's a 10 versus a 45.
Okay, yeah, no. You see under the table, you know, you've seen Newton do his little weird dancey thing, but you see essentially doing that under the table with one hand as he continues to like keep his composure and write. But okay, well, that definitely narrows it down to some Fae.
Yeah, you'd have to. Well, no, you did get a really high degree of success. If you're talking ones that can like bypass locks and like have like a hostility towards individuals, maybe towards things like people like disturbing a forest. There's a couple that stand out, like nymphs have a particular if they're getting attacked, but the one that doesn't, and that could work. They could definitely like get somebody out of a room if they needed it, if they were locked in. But if they're more direct, a pale rider might fit pretty much, especially because they're known specifically as they're in a sense spirits. Actually, no, I would say go ahead and roll a folklore check, Ashen, and you get a +10 as well.
Ooh.
+10 on top of my +10.
Mm-hmm.
It's all cumulative. No. That's not the right word.
Everything's coming up.
Success, 44.
Cool. So yeah, once like you're all talking like aloud, trying to like spitball ideas. One thing that definitely jumps out at you, Ashen, is Fae are not usually connected with gods or the five or any of the wisdoms, but there are some that are servants. They're not made by, but they have pledged themselves according to the myths. And certain subsets of Pale Riders are pledged to Aja, the goddess of, or the god of nature, the wisdom of nature. And they're specifically, it's because Aja knows what is owed and what is due, and the Pale Riders collect.
So you're
They did not pay their dues.
Oh no. So you're saying a fey creature adorned to the Lady of the Forest took vengeance against these... Ashen, could I pull you outside for the moment? Sorry, excuse me. And I stand up from the chair, put the food down, and go stand by the door. I don't want to say this in front of the individual in front of.
Well, thank you for everything, Aiden. I know it can't have been easy to talk about, but it's appreciated.
I hope
like another drink?
Helps. No, it's fine. I hope it helps. I'm glad I could bestow the knowledge or give you some help before. hoping to book passage to there's a village downriver that I'm going to head to. Is some work I need, running a bit low on coin.
If we happen to find out what happened or what caused it, do you want us to keep you informed, or would you prefer not to know?
I might be in Larnwick by the time you get back here.
Well, we wouldn't come back. We'd send a message maybe with Hal or something like that.
All right. And what's the and what are you saying outside? We'll end it off there with that conversation for the night.
So, we're going to be ending this shorter little session here. Thank you for watching, everybody, and without anything else that we've got to do, just got to say thank you to our players. So thank you to Surelyonlymikey, UtariOnzo, Rival Zone Gaming, and Red Moogle from Rival Zone Gaming. We have Discourse Miniatures. This broadcast is written by the wonderful and GM'd by the wonderful massaging his nose Commissar Roach, and I've been Midgeman. This has been the Component Cast, and watch for the continuation of this next time.
Yes,
bye-bye.
hopefully a full episode.
Yeah, we'll be back with the full episode, we promise. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.